I don't think I've ever laughed so hard at a Warner Brothers cartoon as I did with Hoppy-Go-Lucky. This is a 1952 Sylvester cartoon directed by Robert McKimson and written by Ted Pierce, and we have voices provided by Mel Blanc and Stan Freberg. And it also features Hippety Hopper, which is, fair enough. But I'm not that bothered about Hippity Hopper in this. I absolutely love the character of Benny. Benny's voiced by Stan Freberg, and he has the same voice as the Abominable Snowman. And I've mentioned before, I love the character. I love his voice, and I love how he will name him George, and he will hug him, and he will pet him, and Benny has basically the exact same pattern, the exact same voice. He's calling Sylvester George. Sylvester is actually called Sylvester. He tells Benny to stop calling him George because his name's Sylvester. And he wants Sylvester to catch him a mouse, and he will hug him and pet him. And honestly, one of my favourite bits. In fact, I'll tell you the bit that made me really laugh out loud, but I'll give you a spoiler warning so I don't ruin the most hilarious thing about this. But of course, Sylvester is trying to catch the mouses, as they call them, and Hippity Hopper comes along. And it's actually unusual with Hippity Hopper to have a second focus that's just as prominent as Hippity Hopper. And Benny is just completely stealing the show, and I absolutely love him. And I won't say any more about the narrative except for this one spoiler in a moment. But it's very well animated. The pacing is great. Everything works well. But for me, ultimately, Benny just made me almost cry with laughter. He's absolutely fantastic. As I've mentioned, I love that Abominable Snowman and the way he talks. So I was so delighted to have another character who's basically the same, but a cat. And me being a big cat fan, that just made it all the more perfect. So the bit that genuinely made me laugh out loud more than I was expecting to. This is a spoiler, of course, for something funny, and it's when when Benny says, "I will do something. I will do mean things to you, like like stroke your fur the wrong way." And he does it. He does it to Sylvester. And if you're a cat person, you'll know what it's like to have the temptation to stroke your cat's fur the wrong way. It never works. It just sticks up in jaunty angles, and the cat gets annoyed. And it's funny but awkward at the same time. And it just amused me so much. It's easily the funniest thing in any Warner Brothers cartoon ever. And I'm going to be living on that one for quite a while. Hoppy-Go-Lucky was nothing like what I expected, and honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever seen. Absolutely adored it.